Welcome to the 2014 Relay for Life Telethon on M6, your hometown station.
Hello and welcome back to the 2014 Relay for Life Telethon on M6, your hometown station. I'm your host, Cammie Bacon, and that was a wonderful musical performance by Al Dickman and Scott Davis. I hope you've been enjoying your time here at the Telethon because we have up in the M6 studios. Now let's head over to Brittany and Steve to see our latest donations.
Thanks, Cammie. I'm here with Nicholas Beasley, an Marysville High School alumni. How you doing today, Nick?
I'm doing all right. It's been a very exciting day.
So how does this telethon compare to the ones you participated in high school?
The scale is much, much bigger. We didn't used to have the 5K race in the morning. We did have the Chrysler, to go on the drive the cars. We had all that stuff. But, besides the fact that we're also in a brand new high school, equipment's 10 times better. You guys have much more to work with.
So did you enjoy coming back to participate in these telethons?
Oh, yeah. I try to come back every year to see what the new students have going on, to see what the new talent coming up is, because I have a degree in TV and film, and that's where I'm getting my job. But I also come back because my dad died of cancer about 2 years ago, so I come back and I like to support the area and support the Marysville Relay for Life.
Well, it's a really great thing you do. Thank you for coming back. So, Brittany, I understand you have some pledge cards for us?
Yes, I do. We have a donation of $20 from Ken Mattis in honor of Mickey Jones. A donation of $50 from Greg Porritt in honor of a cancer survivor. And a donation of $10 from Mickey Breast. Thank you, guys. Back to you, Cammie.
Thanks, Brittany, and thank you to everyone who's made a donation. If you haven't been able to come out yet, please see everything that we have going on down in the Commons at Marysville High School. Or if you can't come in, keep watching until 2 p.m. today and call the number at the bottom of your screen. Now let's head over to Morgan to see who she has to interview.
Thanks, Cammie. I'm here with Ben from the Robotics Club. So, Ben, how many years have there been a robotics club here at Marysville?
This is actually our first year being part of the school, and I think we've been doing pretty good so far as it has been our first year. So
what are you doing downstairs today to help the Relay for Life?
we're letting kids drive the robot around for 4 tickets, and so they get to drive it around, see what it is, shoot up the arms that has a robot. So, yeah.
And how much money do you think you've raised today?
We've probably raised about $50 to $100 or so.
That's a really great thing that you're doing for Relay for Life. Now back to you, Cammie.
Thanks, Morgan. That's awesome. I wish I could drive the robot. Thank you to everyone who's been contributing today. Now let's head down to the Commons to see what's going on there.
Thanks, Cammie. I'm here with Emily Coleman from National Honor Society. So, Emily, tell us how you got involved with National Honor Society.
National Honor Society is a group from school, and what you do is you are asked to apply, and then they accept you. So now I'm part of it since sophomore year.
So tell us, what is the National Honor Society doing for the relay today?
All the kids are helping out at different spots. Some kids are at carnival games like I am, and then a bunch of us work the 5K earlier this morning, and then some kids are outside right now at the test drive for the Dodge cars.
What does National Honor Society do throughout the school year?
We look for ways that we can help in the community and try to help as best we can throughout school projects and then other things throughout Marysville.
So tell me, what is your favorite part of this whole relay?
Well, like I said, I'm working the carnival games right now, so that's really fun to see all the kids. And my favorite part is the princesses right now because they're super cute up there, so it's fun.
That sounds really fun. Make sure you come down and check us out. Now over to Brooke.
Thanks, Liz. I'm here with Vonnie from the Taste Fest. Can you tell us what restaurant you're with?
I'm from the 4-Star Restaurant in Marysville.
And what food did you bring for us today?
I brought our homemade coleslaw, ham and cheese sandwiches, and our homemade chocolate chip cookies.
That sounds delicious. How much are the tickets for this?
They're $1. Great donation. Come support your school.
Right. Thank you. Back to you, Cammie.
Thanks, Brooke and Liz, and thank you to everyone who's been contributing today. If you haven't come down to the Marysville High School yet, there's still a lot of sales going on, like the Mom-to-Mom sale, the craft show, and a book sale. Now it's time to check the tote board. Our previous total was $5,500, and our current total is $7,800. Everyone who's made a contribution. Now it's time for an interview with Christy Jones.
Welcome to the 2014 Relay for Life Telethon on M6, your hometown station.
Joining us now is Christy Jones, a volunteer from the American Cancer Society. Welcome.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
So I'd like to know, what is your role with the American Cancer Society, and how long have you been volunteering for the Relay for Life?
Well, my role is co-chair for the luminary ceremony. I have been a volunteer on the board for the Relay for Life for about 3 years, but I have been an active participant for about 17.
That's quite a long time.
It is.
And I guess very rewarding too.
It is. It all started, my husband was diagnosed with testicular cancer, so I began getting involved in Relay at that time.
Yeah, usually when someone's close, it seems.
It's exactly how you get involved.
Yeah. Can you describe for us what the luminary ceremony is and when it takes place?
Sure. The luminary ceremony takes place at sunset. The luminaria bags line the track and are illuminated at that time. It's an opportunity for us to honor cancer survivors as well as to remember loved ones lost.
What do you believe importance really is within this ceremony? Is it just for a way of mourning, way of closure?
Well, it's all of those things, actually. It's a very reflective, very often somber and emotional ceremony. It's a quiet part of the event. The event is normally very celebratory and quite active throughout the day, but this is an opportunity for all the participants to reflect and remember and honor those who have fought the battle.
Yeah. And is it just for those who lost, or would survivors have their names on?
Oh, absolutely. Survivors and those actually going through the battle right then. So we often have people coming in wheelchairs. I had a friend who was battling brain cancer, and she came at the very end in a wheelchair to make it to her last Relay for Life. Yeah. So people of all, were honoring as well as remembering at that ceremony.
Don't want to try to be a bit spiritual, but it'd be almost like a prayer candle, almost.
It is. It is. It's more like a vigil, absolutely. In fact, part of the ceremony is that we have a local chaplain or minister come and speak and offer words of encouragement and hope.
What supplies are needed for the luminary ceremony, and how does each team get the supplies?
Well, the supplies are actually the luminary bag itself, as well as candle and sand. They're loaded at the site of the Relay for Life. Sand is placed in there in a little cup, and then the candle is placed in there, and then they're lit by the teams. They're placed in front of each of the team camps. So each team gathers their own luminaria bags. My team, Angie's Amazing Grace, which we do for my friend who lost her battle with cancer, we have all of those bags pre-made, and they're put in front of our camp. And each camp does the same, thus all the track is illuminated by these candles.
Oh, nice, especially when you have them right next to you, too.
It is. It's a great visual for the participant to see, because each bag represents a life and a person. So it's quite a visual.
Yeah. Is there any cost to get a luminary?
The bags do cost $10. They're part of the fundraising aspect, I guess, of Relay. Myself, we have fundraising parties where people come and will decorate the luminary bags. They purchase them, and then we give them the supplies to decorate.
Yes, I understand May will draw messages on, they'll write something.
Absolutely. They often will attach a picture or a drawing or write a message. So they're a very emotional and personal, I guess, way to honor someone.
Yeah, and how you said earlier how a chaplain is there. Do you have any other speakers? Do you have music?
We do, and usually every year we have a local artist perform, and this year we're thrilled that Julie Ann Inkley, a very gifted singer, is going to sing and perform there. So she will sing a song, and after she is done, all of the participants will then take a single quiet, and it's a very quiet lap around the track, and then return to the stage where all of the names of the people that we're honoring and remember are scrolled on a list on a screen.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, how do people usually feel once they're done with that lap? Are they usually depressed? Do they feel a bit better after that they're not the only ones?
You know,
or-
I think it all depends on what stage they're at, but I do think that it is one of those of times that you're reflective. You're often very somber, and I think it is a very emotional piece of the relay. And it usually lasts for about an hour to an hour and a half, and then we kind of kick things back up again. But you're right. I think it is more of a somber time for most people.
And can someone who is not associated with a team, like saying how I know my grandmother passed quite many years back from colon cancer, like say if I want to have one, could I do that without being on a team?
Absolutely. You can come to relay without being on a team at any point of the 24 hours that we're there. You can come just for the luminary ceremony. And you can even often, our team always sells bags right up until that time of the ceremony, so you can often purchase the bag right there. And we'll have tools for you to decorate the bag and place it there.
Sounds wonderful. And how you said you're co-chair of it. So how many people are on your committee, and are all of them volunteer or some like on staff? Or?
No, we're all volunteer that are on my particular committee, and I have one other girl, Crystal Flood, who is the co-chair of it as well. So it's really just the two of us that put on this. But of course, it takes a village, so we have a lot of helpers.
And of course, they all volunteer. Do they all have certain connections, or do they just come out blue say, I want to volunteer?
Well, you know, I think most of our volunteers come from situations like myself, that I was a participant and then I began getting involved in the relay, that you find a need or a calling to do a little bit more. So, but anybody can. You can go to www.relayforlife.org, and there's a list right there or a place that you can volunteer for the Relay for Life event that's closest to you.
Is it like a certain amount of requirements you must do as a volunteer, or is it like do what you can? Or?
It is do what you can. As in most volunteer, you know, they do have meetings monthly, and it's great if you can attend those, because it's where you get your information and can share with your other team members. But it's entirely up to you. But every volunteer is valued, so whatever you can give is a greatly appreciated.
Mm-hmm. And what other activities for Relay for Life do you particularly enjoy?
Well, I think I enjoy the opening ceremonies and the closing ceremonies. And I think it's because at the very beginning, we're very upbeat and ready to take on the day and tackle it and listen to some survivor stories. And then at the end of the event, which is at 9 o'clock in the morning, so you've been up 24 hours and going at it strong, and realize that cancer doesn't sleep, and neither did you. But I think that's a time that you can also feel proud about what you've accomplished at Relay. Each year, Relay for Life events throughout the world raise over $400 million. That all goes towards research for cancers of all types. And it also provides supportive services for cancer survivors as well as for their caregivers.
That's actually quite a lot of money.
It's very impressive, very impressive.
Yeah. It's a shame that with that we haven't yet conquered it.
No, but that's the goal. The goal of the American Cancer Society is to eradicate this disease, and I believe that each year we get one step closer, so that's the hope.
I'd like to thank you very much for coming in.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure.
We hope those of you at home will hopefully get involved with this and our aspects of Relay for Life. And now let's go back to the telethon.
I really didn't have any symptoms. I was going for a routine mammogram because I had had a negative biopsy 6 months before on the other side, and they did both sides and they found this. And they knew it wasn't there 6 months before, so it was caught early. My doctor told me that I had a ductal cancer on the left breast. I was scared, but I also knew that we had caught it early because I had had the mammogram 6 months earlier and nothing had showed up. So I was encouraged that whatever we did would be successful. First, I had the surgery, which was removal of part of my breast, and that took a long time for it to heal, so a couple of months after that, then I started with 7 weeks of radiation therapy, 5 days a week. Yes, I did. I got burns on my chest from the radiation. Those developed after about 4 weeks, so the last 3 weeks it was like having a really super bad sunburn, and I developed like ulcers where the burns were. And then right at the end, I started having trouble breathing, and I was really short of breath. I could hardly walk a few steps, and I was gasping for breath. So I went back to my regular doctor, and they said I had what's called radiation pneumonitis, where your lungs have been burnt from the radiation. So I had to be in the hospital in intensive care for a week, and then on oxygen for 5 months after that. It's been 10 years. I just went 10-year cancer-free. Family, that was my biggest support. I was taking care of my mother at the same time who had ovarian cancer, and I'd been taking care of her for about 6 months. And she was on what they call her vacation from her chemo, so she was feeling a little better, so she took care of me while I was having a hard time. And then as soon as I was done, I was back to taking care of her again. And then I had all my grandkids and my kids, and they were very supportive. Very good outlook. I've had no recurrence at all. And when I was at my last office visit for him, which was in July, he said I don't have to come back to him again, just the regular doctor can check up on me. Yes, I've had a lot of family members that have had cancer, not the same type that I have, but we're able to encourage each other and help each other get through the hard times. If you have any symptoms at all, get it looked at. Don't hold off and say maybe it'll go away, because the sooner you get it, the better.
On February 21st, the Marysville Girls and Boys Basketball Program teamed up with the Basketball Coaches Association of Michigan and the Relay for Life to host the second annual Pink Out Game. Even though the league matchup against Lakeshore was important, the biggest win was the victory over cancer. Pink t-shirts were sold to the students, staff, and community residents. The goal was to get the gym packed in pink. The pep band provided music to create an enthusiastic sound. The cheerleaders led the boisterous crowd. Students tossed shots from half court. And of course, the basketball teams led the charge. At the end, it was not the score that the Marysville community was concerned with. It was the battle to defeat cancer.
Thanks for watching the 2014 Relay for Life Telethon on M6, your hometown station.
Hello and welcome back to the 2014 Relay for Life Telethon on M6, your hometown station. Thank you to everyone who's been participating in today's events and for calling in and making pledges. If you haven't made a donation yet, a really great and simple way to do that is to come down to the Marysville High School parking lot and sign up to test drive a Dodge vehicle. For every test drive, the local dealership will be donating $20 towards Relay for Life. Another great way we've been raising money was the senior versus staff games. So let's head over to Brittany and Steve to learn more about that.
Thanks, Cami. I'm here with Eric Kazefka, Marysville High School senior that participated in the games. How you doing today, Eric?
Good. How are you?
I'm not too bad. Thank you for asking. So did the senior versus staff games help you enjoy your senior year here?
Yeah, I would say it definitely made the tail end of my senior year a little bit more enjoyable.
So at the games, what did you guys do to help raise money?
To help raise money, any senior that wanted to participate in the staff games had to pay $1, and they could just put their ticket into any one of the buckets. You're guaranteed to play. And then for anyone that was going to watch the senior versus staff games, you had to pay $1 for entrance.
That's really great. So did you guys have a good time when you guys were participating in the games?
Oh, yeah, we had a lot of fun. It was really great. Everyone just enjoyed themselves, had a great time.
Well, that's really cool. So, Brittany, I understand you have some pledge cards for us?
Yes, I do. Thanks, Steve. We have a pledge for $300 from Mr. and Mrs. Wildermuth to the American Cancer Society. Thank you for that. Back to you, Cami.
Thanks, Brittany and Steve, and thank you to all the seniors who participated in the game. Now let's head over to Maddie McLean, who's interviewing Mrs. Schmarl about the Mom-to-Mom sale.
Thank you, Cami. I'm here with Mrs. Smarl from the Mom-to-Mom sale. So, how long has the Mom-to-Mom sale been a part of the relay?
Probably about 7 years.
All right, that's great. And how many tables are down at the sale today?
We have 40 tables today.
All right. And how is the turnout this year?
Really well. It's been very steady. People just coming in, a steady stream of people. And people have been selling a lot of things, too.
All right, that's great. Thank you for all your hard work. And now back to Cami.
Thanks, Maddie. Now let's check out what's going down in the Commons.
Thanks, Cami. I'm here with Maddie from the 5K run. Can you tell us how you did today?
I actually did pretty good. I dropped 3 minutes on my 5K time, and that's quite a bit, so it's great.
That's awesome. Did the weather affect your run today?
Not really, but it was a little bit rainy, but they did a really great job putting on the run, even though the conditions weren't all that great.
Yeah. How did it feel running for such a good cause?
Oh, it feels great. Knowing that my mom, she had breast cancer also, it feels good knowing that I'm helping others, too.
And I see you have a medal around your neck. Can you tell us what place you got?
Oh, I got first place, but it's really fun because they give places for the top 2 people, and you get medals. They do a lot of fun stuff. It's great.
That's awesome. Now over to Liz.
Thanks, Brooke. I'm here with Allie Brogan from the junior class and the book club. So tell us, what's the book club doing for this year's relay?
We're collecting books to help raise money for Relay for Life.
That's really exciting. Where did you get these books?
We had the first hour classes collect books throughout a period of like a month, I believe.
How many books did you get all together? Do you know?
No, I do not, but it was a lot.
It was a lot? Okay. So tell me one more thing. What's your favorite thing about the relay?
My favorite thing is this working for such a good cause, and it's just a great outcome. We always have.
I do agree. Make sure you bring the kids and the family and everybody down because we're still having the Relay for Life Telethon. Now back up to you.
Thank you to everyone who's been contributing to the telethon today. And now it's time to check the tote board. Our previous total was $7,800, and our current total is $9,500. To everyone who's been putting a part in today. Now it's time for another musical performance by the DeHeno Brothers. watching the 2014 Relay for Life Telethon on M6, your hometown station.
I wish I was on a rocket top down in the Tennessee hills. Ain't no smog, is smoke on a rocket top, don't pay no telephone bills. Once two strangers climbed on a rocket top looking for moonshine still. They never came down from the rocket top, I reckon they never will. Rocket top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocket Top, Tennessee. Rocket Top, Tennessee. Jimmy. Once I had a girl on a rocket top, half bear, the other half cat. Wild as a mink, but sweet as soda pop. I still think about that. Sing with me. Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee. Pick it. Here we go. Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee.
Hi, we hope you're enjoying the telethon today. Joining us now is Linda Kozanowski from the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Welcome, we're glad you joined us.
Thank you so much.
Can you tell us about the mission of the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society?
Sure, our mission is to find a cure for leukemia, lymphoma, Hodgkin's, and myeloma, and to improve the quality of life for our patients and their families.
Where is your office and how big of is the area you cover?
Our office is located in Madison Heights, which is about 20 minutes north of Detroit, and we cover the entire state of Michigan, including the UP. And we do have a satellite office in Grand Rapids that helps with the west side of the state, but for the most part, we're the entire state.
Yeah, that's a lot of area.
Yes, it is.
The entirety of Michigan. I understand you have a special connection to Gardens Elementary. Pasta for Patients fundraiser.
Yes, we do. Gardens is running our Pasta for Pennies program. They have actually been running it for quite a long time right now. And I was just out there meeting all the students right before the spring break to kick off their program.
How and where does the money go that is raised by the students?
Part of the money goes to our researchers. We have 10 of them at the University of Michigan, and their only job is to find a cure or find a cause for leukemia. Because as of right now in 2014, we still do not know what causes leukemia. Other thing what they're doing is trying to find a treatment that's a little bit easier for our patients. Currently, our patients go through 3 years of treatment, which is 3 years of chemotherapy, taking pills, hospital visits. And if you're a male, you add 1 more month to that. And we just think that's a little bit too long. So we're hoping they can find, if they can't find the cure right now, we're hoping they can find a treatment that's a little bit easier on our patients and hopefully get them on the road to recovery much quicker than we are currently right now. And the other part of the money goes towards patient services, which means anybody in the state of Michigan could call our office in Madison Heights and say that we have a diagnosis of leukemia, and if you can help us. And we can because we have so many schools in the state of Michigan that raise money for us that we're actually able to give them money to provide transportation, for medication, for doctor's visits. We're also able to put them into support groups. And this is all money that we get from schools running our Pasta for Pennies program.
Wow, that's a lot of stuff.
Yes, it is.
I also understand you have a delicious treat for the winning class and top fundraisers.
Yes, every class, well, actually, every school, the top fundraising classroom will get a pasta lunch from the Olive Garden.
Wow.
Yeah, for the entire classroom.
How long has Garden School been collecting for pennies for pasta?
Gardens have been running, this is their 13th year running the program. And when I went out for the assembly, there were, most of the students, I think with the exception of 4, were not even born when they started the program at Gardens. So it's been running for a long time. They've raised over $16,300, and they're just going to keep going. They're a wonderful, wonderful school.
Yeah, that's a long time. I think I was 13 years ago. So I would have been just starting elementary school.
Yes, yep.
Is this fundraiser a state or national campaign? And do other restaurants participate?
It is a statewide and national program. We have all the Olive Gardens in the state of Michigan participate, across the nation as well. And we also have Hungry Howie's as a partner for the classrooms that aren't near an Olive Garden. They get Hungry Howie's pizza. And at Gardens, for example, every classroom that raises $250 will also get a lunch from Hungry Howie's. And the nice thing about that is that every lunch from the Olive Garden and Hungry Howie's are all donated, so not one penny that the students are collecting goes for their lunches. It all goes back to our mission.
Is it rewarding to see the children get excited and rewarded for doing something great for others?
Yes, they get so excited about the pasta lunch, and sometimes like the younger ones get more excited about the pizza lunch. But yeah, so it's very, very exciting to see how excited they get. And we also have pennants that we pass out to the classrooms that raise a certain amount of money, and especially the elementary students, they really, really like those. It's a nice kind of token of what they can hang up in their classroom of what they've accomplished.
What other activities does your group do to raise funds and awareness for leukemia?
Our school and youth programs also have paper icons. They are actually paper pennies that the students can buy for $1 or $2 that the teachers can hang up around the school. We also have red awareness bracelets that we can give to schools. We actually donate to them, they can sell it. Many schools do their own fundraising, such as bake sales, dances. We've even had one school do a bacon sale. They actually sold strips of bacon in their classroom. So unfortunately I was not invited to that one, but I know. But yeah, so we have our certain ones, but the teachers sometimes do their own fundraising in their classroom, which is very neat too.
You were talking earlier about how the researcher's sole job is to find a cure for cancer or something. How have we advanced towards a cure with efforts like these?
The most impressive research that I've heard so far, which came out late last summer, was a Dr. June. He's actually in Philadelphia, at Children's Hospital in Philadelphia, but his research is funded by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. And what he did was take the HIV virus, deactivate the part of the virus that actually kills, and put it into a patient who had leukemia. And this patient was on this is her last resort. This is her last hope. The leukemia came back for the second time. There was nothing else that we can do. She was going to die. Mm-hmm. So as a last-ditch effort, they tried this. And when they put the HIV into the child, she got very, very sick. She got to the point where if she got any sicker, she would have died. But miraculously, she turned around, and today she's cancer-free, which is amazing. So it's taking one killer disease, combining it with another killer disease to cure cancer, which is a huge, huge step for us. Mm-hmm. Some other research we're doing is we're finding treatment for autoimmune diseases, which was kind of a side effect of trying to find a cure for leukemia. So we're just wondering that maybe perhaps there's some kind of connection between all the diseases, between all the cancers and autoimmune diseases, that right now we can help them with new medication that was developed through Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, that maybe we can help them one day, and maybe eventually have a vaccine for leukemia, so my grandchildren, your grandchildren, will one day say, what is leukemia? I never even heard of that. So what's what we're hoping for one day.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yes.
One day be like, what is cancer?
Yeah, what is that? I never know.
That was a thing? If a parent or person connected with another school is interested in joining the program next year, how can they learn more?
They can go to lls.org/mi or contact our office, which is at 248-581-3923, and that's our school and youth line for Michigan.
What is the most rewarding part of your job?
I would say going out to the schools and talking to the students. I like to teach them about what leukemia is. It's a cancer in the blood, and also to start them thinking about giving back, like philanthropy. If we could start philanthropy at the elementary level, I think it'll just make this world just a better place so they grow up learning that. And also explaining to them that leukemia is actually affecting kids of their age group, a little bit younger, a little bit older, but helping kids. It's like a Kids Helping Kids program. And I think that's probably one of my most rewarding when they understand that they're helping kids their own age and truly are making a difference.
Yeah, because like a lot of times you're like, oh, that's like an adult problem, but then you realize like, oh, that like affects us too.
Right, affects our age, our kids.
Is there any like success stories that you've heard of or two that you would like to share with us?
One of the stories I use when I do go to the assemblies is I work with two women at the Madison Heights office, and both of their children had leukemia. And I get a lot of my inspiration from them as they explain what they went through. Both of their children are in remission, and they're doing extremely well academically, and one's in college right now, the other one's a dancer, and she's in high school, doing really well. But just hearing their story and what they had to go through is really my motivation when I go out to schools to talk about leukemia. And just seeing them working at our office and giving back, feeling they need to give back because the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society gave them so much, that was like one of my inspirations that I definitely draw upon, for sure.
Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
We hope you continue to support the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Now let's get back to the telethon.
Last year in North Carolina, I met a girl and we dated for 7 months. So we knew each other a long time, and she had rhabdomyosarcoma, which is a really rare form of blood cancer, and there's only about 400 cases of it in the United States every year. Initially, I wasn't there for her first stint with cancer. She got diagnosed her freshman year of high school when I still lived in Michigan, and I remember her telling me that she had bruises all over her body, and that's the first thing they noticed, and they took her to the doctor. And initially, they misdiagnosed her as leukemia, and they said the outlook wasn't very good, but then they came back and told her that it was rhabdo, and there was a little bit more hope for that. But then once she was in remission, when I met her in January, she was cancer-free for about 3 months up till that point, and then would have been about 4 or 5 months. It was after prom, and then she had a bump on her hand that was there for a couple weeks, and it was starting to get pretty painful, and they went and got a biopsy done that came back positive for cancer. Initially, when I was there when she got the text message about her hand confirming that the tumor was cancerous, and I can say with confidence it was the worst night of my life. I've never seen somebody cry so hard. I just remember her buckling in her kitchen and laying on the ground and screaming because she was just so upset. And I was in the living room sitting there. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was just in complete shock. And her parents were there trying to calm her down, and it was amazing because I was sitting there. It was the worst news I've ever heard in my life, and I didn't know what to do at all. And after she was done crying and screaming for 5 minutes, she came up to me on the couch, and she sat down, she looked at me, and she asked me if I was okay. And I thought that was about the most amazing thing that anybody's ever said to me, because out of all the things that she could have complained about, she came up to me and asked me if I was all right, and that I'll never forget that. That was amazing. The biggest challenge was with chemotherapy. There's a lot of reactions to it emotionally and physically, and I think the most evident are mood swings, severe mood swings. I remember I would get home from work, or it would be before work, and she would just call me crying and very upset, and both of her parents wouldn't be home, and I would have to go over in the middle of the day, and she'd be having like a panic attack or an anxiety attack, and I would have to calm her down and talk to her. And it's weird how it happens, because like one day or one moment you'll be hanging out watching a movie or something, and then the next a flip will just switch and they're crying and you don't know what to do about it. And that's probably the hardest part, just the unpredictability of it and having to respond to every situation as it happens. When she relapsed, when I was there, she was having chemo and radiation treatment every week. She would have radiation on her hand and her armpit, because some of the lymph nodes were cancerous in her armpit. I remember she had like radiation burns all up her arm. But she would have, I can't remember the exact rounds of it or the schedule, but she had chemo probably twice a week, radiation every day, and she would have to drive down to Charlotte, which is about a 20-minute drive, and she'd have to go to the hospital there to get treatment. Really, the only thing you can do regarding the cancer patient is whatever they ask of you. And I think just being there, not even to listen or to help, but just somebody for them to vent to is the most important thing. And what I found the most difficult thing with being a so-called caretaker in this situation was not necessarily the relationship I had with her became difficult with the cancer, but the relationship I had with other people became very difficult. Because I remember I'd put on a game face and I'd be very tough when I was around her, and I wouldn't show much emotion. Then I'd get home and I would take it out on my parents. I'd get very short and mean with them, and I'd be very rude to my friends. And I think looking back on it, the most important thing that I can tell anybody who goes through a similar situation is keep in mind when you're dealing with people that don't have cancer that everybody still has their own problems. And when you're trying to help others, or if they come to you with an issue, don't try to downplay them and just tell them, you know, you have no idea what I'm going through, so I'm not even going to listen to your problems. In a way, everybody has their own cancer, and just try to be very patient with people and keep your mind about you.
Welcome to the 2014 Relay for Life Telethon on M6, your hometown station.
Back to the 2014 Relay for Life Telethon on M6, your hometown station. That was a very inspirational interview with Dalton Cracklin. And there's still time to come down to Marysville High School and check out some of the events we have going on. There's still the craft show and the book sale and even the Princess Tea. Let's head over to Steve and Brittany to see what's going on there.
Thanks, Cami. So are you guys enjoying yourself as being princesses today? So all the kids are having a good time down there?
Yep, they get their hair done, they get their makeup done, they get their nails painted, and then they get to eat cookies and have tea with the princesses.
So how are you guys doing this to raise money? Is there like a mission or anything?
Yep, there's a small fee.
There's a small fee, and the parents pay $15 for the girls to come in and get all the princess paraphernalia.
Yeah, it's been a really good experience for them, and then the $15 goes directly to Relay for Life.
Well, it's a really great thing you guys are doing. Thank you so much. And Brittany, I understand you have pledge cards for us?
We have a $25 donation from Vera and Helen Smith, in memory of Ken and Stella Stevens and Jack and Vera Smith. Thank you so much. Back to you, Cammie.
Thanks, Steve and Brittany. The Princess Tea sounds like a lot of fun. Now let's head over to Morgan to see who she has to interview.
Thanks, Cammie. I'm here with Abby Davis, a member of the girls' varsity basketball team. So tell us a little bit about the Pink Out. How many years have they been doing this?
This was our second year, and luckily both years I got to play on the varsity team.
So how did the games go for you? Was there a good turnout?
There was a great turnout. I think that's the biggest crowd we've ever had in our gym, and it was just a lot of fun.
That's great. So did you win the games?
Yes, and actually when we won our game this year, we clinched our league title.
That is amazing. You're doing a great thing for Relay for Life. Now back to you, Cammie.
Thanks, Morgan. Those Pink Out games definitely were exciting. And there's some games still going on at the high school today, too, like the carnival games for kids that are being put on by the National Honor Society. Now let's head down to the Commons to see what's going on there.
Thanks, Cammie. Brooke and I are still down on the Commons in the midst of all the fun. I'm here with Carrie from the craft show. How are you today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
So can you tell me what kind of things are at the craft sale?
Oh, I've seen things from homemade jewelry to scarves to purses, and I'm here as a Pampered Chef consultant, and I'm just displaying some of the things that we have available in our product line.
So what are your ties to the Relay for Life?
I know several people that work here at the school, kids, staff members, and it's just a great cause to support.
Have you been doing anything else while you were here?
Actually, I haven't been able to because I'm the only one at my table, and every time I walk away to go do something, somebody comes by and starts visiting. So, unfortunately, no, but it's been a good time.
Well, maybe if you get a chance, you can go outside and drive a Dodge. Now over to Brooke.
Thanks, Liz. I'm here with Dylan and Josh, who helped with the kids' fun run earlier. How did you guys get involved in this?
We're part of the freshman steering committee, and Miss Shigley asked us if we would like to volunteer for it, so we did.
And how was the turnout down there?
It was pretty good. There's about 25 kids there.
And how does it feel helping such a great cause?
It felt pretty good helping out the little kids, cheering them on and stuff.
All right. Thank you. Back to you, Cammie.
Thanks, guys, and thank you to everyone who's been contributing today. There's still time to come to the high school and check things out. And if you aren't able to come, please call the number at the bottom of your screen and make a donation. Now it's time to check the tote board. Our previous total was $9,500, and our current total is $11,900. To everyone who's been contributing today. And now it's time for another interview with Sharon Wilson from the American Cancer Society.
Welcome to the 2014 Relay for Life Telethon on M6, your hometown station.
Mrs. Wilson is back from the American Cancer Society, and she's here to tell us a little bit more about this year's Relay for Life up in Birchwood Mall.
Thank you.
So can you remind us of the dates for this year's relay?
Sure. It's May 17th and 18th.
I can't wait. Hopefully I'll be in town at that point.
I'm hoping you can be there for sure.
Yeah. So I understand there are some special events up at the relay. Can you tell us a little bit more about them?
Yeah, we have a lot of ceremonies throughout the 24 hours that we're there at Birchwood Mall. So our first ceremony is our opening ceremony at 10 o'clock, in which we also then celebrate our survivors shortly after that with a special lap and lunch for them and their caregivers. Later in the day, we have our favorite, which is our silent auction, and that runs from 3 to 6. We encourage everyone to come to that, of course. And then in the evening, we have our luminaria ceremony. And that's at dark, and we have luminaria bags that are lit by candles, and we line the track with it, and that's how we remember our loved ones that have already left, or people that we're honoring that have won their battle against cancer.
That's wonderful. So how do you get involved to form a team to be part of the participation this year?
All right, that's a great question. Really, we try to do a lot of information out in the public about our relay coming up, and then we encourage teams to sign up on our website. And when teams sign up or they talk to us or call and express interest in joining, we have monthly team meetings, and we provide lots of information and support. Our committee is there to support our team captains and teams, and we encourage teams to sign up their team members, and we do lots of cool fun incentives and contests throughout the season. So.
Cool. That sounds really awesome.
That's nice.
So does each team have a theme for their campsite?
Yeah, this year our theme for Relay is iPhone applications, or I should say smartphone applications. And so each campsite will choose a theme. So we have people who've chosen themes like Facebook and Photo Booth and SpongeBob and whatever apps you can get on your phone, those are what you can choose for your campsite.
Cool. So what were some of the best themes you've seen in the past for the campsites?
In the past, last year our theme was carnival, so we had a group called Barnum's Animals, and they had a circus theme to their event or to their campsite. This year we have some really fun themes that the teams are picking, and at our kickoff we actually had Surrey was our MC for kickoff, so it's going to be a fun time.
Wow, I can't wait. That seems really fantastic. So do they all sell items at the relay?
Most of our teams do. We have one team that they sell beads, and so as you walk around the track, you stop and pick up a bead at every single lap. And people sell food and refreshments, baked goods. Bring lots of money, and there's lots of treats for sale.
How do you get music and other acts for the entire 24 hours?
Well, we have someone who DJs for us the whole 24 hours, which is phenomenal. And so then we have bands that come back actually year after year, and they're a part of our entertainment schedule. We have some magicians lined up this year. We have dance studios. We'll have Zumba at 2 a.m., so that's definitely a good time to be there.
Cool. So do the laps themselves have any themes, or?
Yeah, we do. We have themes to all of our laps. One of them is bubbles, so our participants are blowing bubbles as they're walking around. We have crazy hat, and our first lap in the morning, as soon as the sun comes out, is crazy hair lap because everyone's been sleeping, or maybe not, and so our hair does not look so great.
That's awesome. So if someone's not on the team, can they still come and walk in the?
Oh, absolutely. We have a welcome center, so anyone who wants to just come to Relay and be a part of the walk can certainly do that. We just ask that people check in, and we give them a copy of our entertainment schedule so they know what's going on. So absolutely, we welcome anyone to participate.
Where can people get more information about Relay for Life?
Well, on our website for sure, which is www.relayforlife.org/Greater Port Huron. They can call me. My contact information is on there, as well as our committee members too.
Cool. So thank you so much for stopping in today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. We wish you and the American Cancer Society the best of luck this year.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
You're very welcome. So we hope to see everyone out at the relay. Now back to the telethon.
Marysville High School's Relay for Life campaign continued with its annual Senior versus Staff Games on Thursday, April 17th. The stands were filled with spirit during the action-packed event, while seniors from 2014's graduating class competed against high school staff members in a series of games. The competition brought the heat in a game of volleyball, netball, and an intense tug-of-war battle. Freshmen, sophomore, and junior spectators paid $1 to enter this event, which brought not only more financial support to the Relay for Life telethon, but smiles to all those students who had a blast watching their classmates play against their teachers. Hello, thanks for joining us today for the Relay for Life telethon. I'm Kayla Walker, here with Kelly DiNardo from Port Huron Hospital. Hi.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming in today. So we hear that recently you guys merged with McLaren's Health Systems. What will patients see differently now with that?
We're actually very excited about joining the McLaren Health System. We will be joining them sometime in May. So really patients won't see much difference, especially in their care. We're still committed to all of our goals in being a leader in healing and the partner in health. But there will be some exciting changes that patients are going to see coming up even over the next several years.
Oh, that's very good. So we also understand that you have a new partnership that may call for a new cancer center. Can you tell us more about those plans?
Yes, we are very excited. We're looking into developing a new cancer center that's going to bring state-of-the-art technology for patients in the area so they can get excellent advanced cancer care and treatment and planning.
Okay, do you think that will benefit the people or patients in the Blue Water area and like residents specifically?
Oh, absolutely. They're going to be able to have all of their care under one roof, from imaging services to treatment, whether it's infusion or radiation, as well as educational programs.
Oh yes, that's very good for all of us, something new coming to our area.
Exactly.
In addition to all that treatment, is there going to be like new research and studies put in place for that?
We're not really sure what that looks like at this point. I would anticipate that there's going to be a lot of changes and things that we do differently in our area, which is all just really going to benefit the people in our community.
That's good. We noticed that McLaren's Health entered into a similar agreement with the Carmano Center Institution, and we were wondering if that did anything differently for the Blue Water patients and families that will be using that institution.
Well, as part of the McLaren system, patients will be able to, will also be able to access services for all the McLaren centers, as well as the Carmano Center. So, being a well-known center for treatment of cancer, I think it's just going to bring even more advanced technology to our area to service people here.
Yeah, that's really good, helping out everyone. Will the center have any additional healthcare jobs to our area, do you think? And
I would think that it would. We don't really know what that looks like at this point, but anytime we add on new services, that usually means more jobs, and that's always a good thing for the community.
Yes. Well, because you're adding on to this, will there be any construction to the hospital, or are we just going to be using the main place that you guys are located in right now?
No, we are actually looking to build a brand new cancer center. We're not sure where exactly it's going to be. We would like it to be on or near the current hospital campus. So I'm very excited myself to find out where it's going to be located.
Okay. Do you guys know the date that you think you will be opening or starting altogether?
Groundbreaking is scheduled to happen this fall, and opening is scheduled for next fall, 2015.
Okay, and are there any thoughts you have specifically on the dedicated advanced cancer center now that it's in our community?
Well, all of us are very excited to have advanced services. I mean, the things that we're working towards now are just going to increase the health care that's available in our community and really set us up to care for people way into the future. So we're very excited for the commitment that McLaren has made really to advance care for people in our community.
Oh, thank you. It sounds great for everything in this Blue Water area and helping out everyone. Thank you very much for joining us.
Sure.
Thank you, and now let's go back to the telethon.
Thanks for watching the 2014 Relay for Life Telethon on M6, your hometown station.